The upcoming piece is about TheMuse Bricklin and the circus troupe ABCirque. They have a live event on May 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Sliding scale. Go to the Muse Brooklyn's Facebook page for that. The Muse also puts on, or also has, daily classes ranging from juggling to stretching to dance, all that stuff. Here is the feature. It was my birthday. How you doing, Luther?
Doing good.
And I met up with my wonderful friend, Luther.
Sitting outside on the East River.
The East River in Manhattan, where Luther lives. I met up to interview him not about living there, but about leaving there. Now, Luther has been one of my best friends for the past 15 years. But that's not exactly why I'm interviewing him today. You're Luther Bangert, a circus performer, juggler. How do you describe yourself?
Circus performer, juggler, street performer.
And you were the second person to call me on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. Luther was planning on leaving New York City eventually, but when the coronavirus hit, things got expedited. But what about those performers that stay? What about those who have put down roots and taken large personal financial commitments, like leasing a 7,000 square foot warehouse for teaching and performing? And Luther works for just one of those people, so I interviewed him about another interview. Okay, so I did an interview with Angela Buccinni Butch. Angela is a founder and director of TheMuse Bricklin, a circus performance and practice space. I interviewed her about how difficult it's going to be to stay open throughout the lockdown and the fallout. I read Luther, who has worked with TheMuse before, some of her quotes. Okay, she said. Well, I should say I screamed at him because of the face mask and the distance and the wind and all of that. You're the one who's guarantor on that company
and on that
and
space. And knowing and seeing it kind of all financially crash, and just knowing that, like, long after this is over, you may still have to be legally dealing with this.
Luther's life as a solo act is hard enough. Imagine leading a community of performers. Do you feel guilty for just being a juggler by hire and not taking on all that responsibility?
No, I don't think so, because I feel like there's a reason that I am a juggler for hire and that I would be terrible at doing that kind of job. So.
Now, just because Luther would be terrible and Angela is good at what she does not mean that it's easy.
We've been struggling for 5 years with the city and with the landlords, and so we've just had to constantly adapt and shift and pour ourselves into other molds just to exist.
Do you think that ironically, because people are now understand how close everyone was to not making rent and struggling as businesses, that you may get sympathy from the financial industry or the city? Or
I'm not sure. We're really kind of dancing that tightrope right now. I'll say that
it's just filled with puns, though.
Yeah, I know, right? All the time. But yeah, I'm on calls every single week. I do 2 or more calls with studio owners, venue owners throughout the city. And we talk about these things all the time. And we actually had 2 officials from the mayor's office on one of those calls. And we talk about the issue that, like, none of our overhead has changed, yet we're not allowed to be operating. We're not allowed to be open. And will there be help? Will it be coming? And that's still very unclear.
Things were difficult before, not because of mismanagement.
Yeah, even prior to this, we've had to operate all on temporary permits because the landlords for 5 years have blocked our permitting process.
That means if they want to have a big event, then they have to apply for permits each time, which can cost between $4,000 and $6,000. Angela also says that because of illegal gas work done by the landlord, they were stuck with a $57,000 bill. So TheMuse has extra bills and a limited ability to pay them. And that was before the virus. Yeah.
So,
well, let's pretend that that this virus didn't happen. It was a big struggle to get the current space made. The stage was donated. You repurposed a bunch of lumber. It's always been a struggle. But in the rest of the world, there is government-sponsored help for the arts, specifically the circus arts. Why New York? Why even stay in a place that seems to be so unsupportive?
We're sort of masochistic in that way. No, I'm joking, but it is the hardest place to do this. Like, without a doubt, we're facing numbers that most people don't face in terms of financials. And there are other places that would support us better. And that's a very real conversation that our community has been having.
Our wonderful friend, Luther Bangert, again.
Well,
why even be here?
What's that?
Why even be here if it's so hard? Why put in all this extra work to...
I guess it's hard, but there is a huge reward. Like, people do really appreciate art here. They appreciate circus arts here. Yeah, people in New York love circus, like hungry for it. When I'm street performing, it's incredible. I have such an amazing response, like more than any other city in the US, and maybe overall more than anywhere else in the world, actually.
America isn't super loving to these eccentric things.
Right.
We need someone to keep the lights on.
Yeah, maybe they need it more. Maybe that's part of the issue. Who knows?
Maybe that's why.
Compared to most of the rest of like Europe, Australia, the UK, etc., there's a lot of places that have huge funding for the arts and have a massive funding for the circus arts. And traveling the world was like, you meet all these Americans that are just like, they're like, I live in Germany now because I can actually make a living here really easily, and they consider what I do art, and it's really great. And yeah, I have health insurance.
And I've toured around the world quite a bit, and I have dealt with some bureaucracy in other countries. So it's not to say that there isn't crap that goes down in other places, but in general, there does seem to be more of a support and an assist for it. In other places, not quite the same picture here.
I knew that the States, we don't pay a lot for the arts compared to other countries. I didn't know how much of a struggle it is running a practice or event space or a specialized space. And when I hear Angela describe the saga of the fights with her landlord and trying to get the city to help them, it overwhelmed me. And she lives with that. You're required to care a lot, but you also, as like a leader, but you need to do so in a way that's helpful. How are you doing?
The honest answer is it depends on which moment, on which day. But there have been several people to come forward just to say we, as people, are together. So that space, that was our shelter, that was our home, that was our sanctuary for whatever period of time it is. But if that doesn't exist, we still want to be together.
So I feel like the community sense of the Muse is bigger than the space in a way.
Yeah, I gave Angela the old Jesus quote about when he says, "Whenever two or more are gathered in my name." The whole whenever two or more are gathered in my name. That will be the.
I grew up Roman Catholic, so I know what you're talking about.
Remember how this piece took place on my birthday? Well, it did, and it was wonderful. Luther brought me a slice of cake, a book on the medicinal applications of the ginkgo tree, and he showed me a special birthday juggling trick.
Oh, I was thinking this is the birthday trick.
It's hard to explain.
That's so cool.
But basically, juggling can be mathematically transcribed. So Luther took my birthday, which was May 13th, 513, and converted it into a juggling pattern. He actually has to do 531 because for some math reason 513 doesn't work out, but that's not important. What is important is Luther is not naturally coordinated. We started juggling at the same time, and I was considerably better than him for a good 6 months. Him practicing daily, me not doing anything daily. He can be obsessive. And that's how he became a great juggler. So juggling is not his talent, obsession is. And Angela, while she has many talents as a performer, I think her real talent is bringing people together. And sometimes that ability can look a bit serendipitous. Last year, for a gig, Luther was flown out to his home state of Iowa for an event.
And it was like, yeah, insane coincidence. It's like the town that I was born in, Burlington. And that was because of Angela, basically. Yeah, she asked me to do it.
So Angela booked a show in a teeny town in Iowa where Luther was born. But that's not the end of the coincidences.
That experience will never be forgotten. I got to see my dear aunt, Karen, just a week before she passed away, and no one really knew that she was, going to pass away that soon. And she got to come to the show and see me. Yeah, a lot of wonderful things.
It was a coincidence that Luther's aunt saw him perform a week before that she died, albeit a beautiful one. But it's not a coincidence that TheMuse puts on wonderful shows. That's just hard work. Much harder work than I ever knew. But TheMuse Bricklin is not gone yet. Do you have any events or performances coming up?
If you go to the Muse Bricklin Facebook page at 7:30 p.m. on the 23rd, we will be going live. So just tune into that page. Once you see the live video, please share it and join a little watch party. And we're going live with a bunch of our amazing performers. So the next upcoming show is on the 23rd, and then every single day we have classes, everything from meditation to Luther has a juggling class. We have some couples stretching and partner classes. For our contortion students, we have some things going on as well.
I don't know why we do what we do. I don't know why TheMuse does what they do, where they get their energy. My theory is that we all just have compulsions, and it's either good or bad luck if our compulsions are beneficial. So it's just good luck that Angela and the others at TheMuse Bricklin are driven to create an underappreciated art. It's good luck that Luther has the compulsion to become a wonderful juggler and bring awe and wonder to crowds throughout the world. It's bad luck if your compulsions, we don't have to go into which ones are bad. But regardless, it will take more than luck to keep it going, to keep things like TheMuse going. I don't know how things will shake down, shake up. Things certainly are shooken up. But I wish them good luck. Thanks for listening.